stream is strong. It's looking like I'm doing a little max headroom here. Welcome. We have entered our season of 42 days of mindfulness. And let me see, this is the first day I'm here on YouTube. I've been on Facebook for 2 days sharing comedic motivation. And in fact, let me see if I can share successfully like last time. Let's see if it'll happen. Okay. Yeah, the stream's looking a little crazy. Let me know, chime in. I'm hoping that you also had a chance, for those of you who are on both platforms for me, and I think I do need to put a little lipstick on here, um, to hear the post that I did about St. John's Feast and St. John's Feast Eve and how it relates to the Kemetic tradition. Okay, I'm going to do this. Okay, that's better. All right. So it's amazing how much, just by making your lips pop, it brings a lot more vibrancy to your face and then also helps to pick up the numbers. Anyway, I hope that you all had a chance to hear the post. For those of you who are not aware of what St. John's uh, feast is, it is a tradition that is done all over the world, and it's celebrated also in African um, spiritual circles, in many Caribbean traditions, in Haitian Vodun, and that is where St. John is known as Tijan or Jean Petro or Petro, and also in Masonic lodges all across the world. And so he was the way shower for Yeshua. And so the post that I put up the other day talked about the Kemetic connection and how the various guardians who in Kemetic tradition were way showers and also um, related strongly to who um, John the Baptist was. And this weekend is important in our circle, in our tradition, in our Kemetic water tradition, because baptism began in Kemet. And I explained the whole thing. This will give you a chance to go back and take a look at it. And by the way, if you are watching, please share that I'm on the air. And we're also in our focusing on our weapon put season, heading into our Kemetic New Year, which actually starts on summer solstice and then ends 42 days later, which brings us usually to the end of July, beginning of August. So, um, okay, so now here's the question for today. Are you the family way shower? Are you the one who is bringing positivity, light, a different path to your family and to your community? Are you breaking old chains? Are you committing yourself to enlightenment and to uh, turning negative patterns around so that you're able to be an inspiration to other people? Your inspiration can be kind of a hackneyed, overworked word, but it has value, and there's truth in being inspired because inspired is also thought to be in spirit. So when you are in divine spiritual connection, then you're able to open yourself up to new ways of being, new ways of thinking. We were talking about elevating, rising. Having your energy rise and breaking out of the lower developed parts of yourself. And of course, that's what this whole 42-day cleanse or mindfulness is about over the summer. So there are signs if you are the way shower. Okay, a lot of times you're out there by yourself. You're the family black sheep, even though you're not doing anything to hurt anybody, and even though you are living a life that is good, where nobody can point to you and say that you're doing anything wrong, other than maybe people don't agree particularly with your viewpoint, but your viewpoint has nothing to do with trying to proselytize, trying to convert anybody to the way that you are. All you're doing is living a good life. And that speaks to anybody and everybody. It should anyway. Some people get irritated when they see that you are living a good life and they try to pull you down. That's a definite sign. If you have people who are so upset about your lifestyle because you're in a happy, calm place, or they even know that you're working your way through something, but still you have not become broken. You are seeking solutions, and you are, in your example, helping others to get through whatever they're going through. That's a good sign. But again, the whole thing about people who try to break you, well, listen, that's their thing. And you have to be strong enough to make sure that you are committed to living a life on a higher vibration, and also not wanting to descend into where they are. hmm So, the other thing is, if you find that there are a lot more people who are asking, "Hey, what are you doing? What are you into?" Because it just seems like everything's just going so well for you. That's a good sign, okay? And we're gonna do a day talking about being on path and being on your assignment when you are in alignment. I gotta remember that title. That's good. So when that happens and things are flowing and you're feeling really great about where you are, uh, it just exudes from every part of your being. And people want to know, people are, I want that. What is that? That's a great thing. All right. But it also is an indication that you are showing a new way to others. In the Kemetic path, we have many way showers. There's Enpu. There's who is the jackal-headed um, uh, guardian, who is depicted with a jackal head. And then there is Wunut, who is the hare, who is the opener of ways. We also have Beset and Besu. We have Seshat. We have Heket. There's so many. And the idea is that you are breaking patterns, you're breaking new ground, you're going into new territory. And for those of you who saw my thumbnail here on YouTube, you see that I am actually near a road. And, so the idea is that there's an open road and you have an opportunity to take it. Wow, it just started raining outside. I can hear it from my back door. So I'm going to open my back door later and enjoy the rain, the sound of the rain and the fresh air. So, and listen, for those of you, let me see, are there any, uh, please share comments with me on your thoughts about being the way shower in your community, in your family, especially when you're dealing with various elements of depression. Brandon, how are you? It's so good to see you. Um, you haven't been tardy. I've just been over on Facebook. So I realized I needed to come and share on here. And, I decided also, instead of doing the whole bells and whistles and making sure that I have, this particular thumbnail and all this edited stuff, it'd just be better for me to just save the time and just come directly on and do one of the things that I do best, and that's talk. Talking off the dome about what I know, so yeah, it's great to see you too. Thank you. Please share that I'm on the air, and also listen, for those of you who may be new to my channel, please hit like and subscribe. There is going to be great motivation coming to you every single day, And for the days if I can't get here, like say if I have a gig or something like that, then I'll make up for it the next time. Trust me. Okay. Um, so again, the whole thing about being a way shower and taking the chance of walking down a new road. However, here's the trick, because the other day I was talking about how I actually allowed myself to get pulled away from my destiny road, but it all turned around in good stead, because the fact that even though I was not planning to become an expert on Kemetic spirituality or a priest, minister, queen mother, scholar, none of that stuff. I was trying to get to the path. Well, I was already on the path for Orisha and Loa. I just needed to have either a Babalao, an Ianifa, or Mambo, somebody, Ugan, someone who would be able to further my spiritual education and practice in those African traditions. And I shared the other day also how I got pulled away, and based on this lure of being able to holistically cure my epilepsy, and that is possible. But considering the severity of my condition at that time and the way that it was done, it just did not work out for me. So I've been back and forth about being on the medication, and so I'm gonna try to download those other two videos that I shared over on Facebook and upload them here on YouTube, so that, or nothing, if nothing else, hey, go to Queen Mother Imakhu on Facebook, and that's facebook.com/Imakhu. Imakhu. And you'll be able to catch all of my content on there. Also, the things that are downloaded directly from the gram. Okay, so um, so to continue now, St. John's Feast Eve, highly magical time, and that is on June 23rd. St. John's Feast is on the 24th. And today, of course, is the 25th, but we're still dealing with the after energy. And um, now it's honored because this is considered to be the birthday of John the Baptist. And I was pondering a little while ago about the whole thing about having a feast, because listen, I've been hanging out with this one spiritual organization that I'm affiliated with now, and you talking about food. 3 days. I can't look at any food right now. Just all this food for 3 days, celebrating and partying, and um, but for my students, I sent information on how we should reverence this time from a Kemetic perspective. I give a little short tutorial on the last video that I did on Facebook. Um, but it's important to take advantage of times when the veil is thin and when we're able to bring manifestation at a much higher rate with positive intention, for eradicating all that is negative and pulling in all that is positive, through the guardians who govern this time. So, with what I shared, you will see that all of the guardians actually tie into who is honored as Saint John the Baptist. So, um, but also it's cool to honor Saint John too. Also said that there are a lot of folks who are on the African tip and who said, Jesus didn't exist and the whole thing being a fable, whatever you want to believe. There are a lot of Kamites who actually do believe, because the fact that, not only because it's been ingrained in us, we've had enough from a spiritual standpoint, to be able to corroborate it with our own experiences and also with research. And whatever the case, I mean, listen, in Brazilian circles in Candomblé, Oxalá, who is Obatala, is uh, believed to be who Yeshua is. That Yeshua was the reincarnation of Oshala and Obatala, and um, whatever the case. Listen, um, being able to still honor the sacredness of this time, what it stands for, and what it stands for is rebirth. Honoring what it stands for, and to be able to make it real and relevant in your life is a truly tremendous thing. Now, um, next year we will be doing going back to doing baptisms at this time, also ankh rededications for those who've been initiated through me, who have gotten their ankhs, who I still want to deal with. Um, Because there are some people who came through and said that they were going to stay and build the temple, and all they wanted was that hunk of jewelry. All they wanted was the ankh. And I mean, it's not just a hunk of jewelry. It's not a hunk of jewelry. It's actually a healing tool. But for those who don't know what to do with it, it's just a hunk of jewelry. But anyway, for those who are ankh carriers, or even have sacred ankhs, ankhu is the plural, that you would want to have consecrated. We'll be doing that next year at this time, but also we will be doing this. I'll be doing this at um, more than likely Coney Island Beach in New York, because it's so familiar to people out here. That's where we do Ancestor Day, tribute to the ancestors. We'll be doing baptisms, ankh rededications, or Ankh as it should be said, and life renewals. And so um, that period is Wuchemu, that is rebirthing, and then this period is considered Wuchemu, Heb Wuchemu, festival of rebirthing. Okay, so I was saying about the feasting. The feasting seems a little odd because uh, John the Baptist was brought. His head was brought to Salome on a platter. You know, she had done some fabulous dance, and so the king who saw it was so pleased. He said, "I'm gonna give you anything you want. What do you want?" And she said, "Give me John the Baptist's head on a platter." And so he was beheaded, and his head was presented to her. That's really grotesque. And then the strange thing is, because the whole thing with the head, and because the fact that he was considered to be the forerunner of Yeshua and all this, but with the thing with the head, during this time period, we do head rogations. And, so head cleansings, head blessings, head protection, head protective rules. And I just think it's really ironic because it took place, the whole beheading thing, presenting the head, took place at a feast. The request was made at a feast. And what do we do? During this time, we feast, feast, feast. So it's a matter of still celebrating life, and celebrating the role of being the way shower, the one who is even preparing the way. As the way shower in your family, you are preparing the way for future generations who are coming up behind you. For those who are here who are younger, to live in a different way in breaking the cycle. And also for elders who are about to cross over, it's showing them that things are not hopeless, and that you do have the ability to change your vibration and be positive, and not repeat the cycles that have been lived lifelong just before you make that transition and become hopefully an ancestor, if your vibration is right, and if you have made the right contributions to your family, to your community, to the world. So think about that. The impact that you have in inspiring those here today, those who are coming behind you, and those who are already ahead of you but are ready to make that, just about ready to make that transition. How about that? That's truly Akeru. Akeru is where you have the two lions that are back to back, and they support the sun or ray. And one lion is looking into the past, the other is looking into the future, and the sun that is in the center, which is Heru, which is day, represents now. Your life as a positive way shower is timeless, but also time sensitive because you're having uh, uh, all of this impact. And then how does that reflect on you? It helps to elevate you and encourage you even more. I can tell you as a teacher, because teachers are celebrated during this time as well. As a teacher, it is more than a joy when I've had students who are considered hopeless come to me later as adults because the fact that I took the time to pour into them because I saw what others could not see, or because I had the patience or the strength to deal with these students who had challenges, and to see that they have successfully navigated living and have successfully um, um, come to a new place of what they believe about themselves. That's the payoff that I get as a teacher. It's a little more challenging with adults. Adults are fully formed. A lot of adults, unfortunately, like to figure out how they can get over on you. Unfortunately. So, anyway, um, so that's my message for today, and I hope that um, you are in a good place. I hope you're in a place of at least seeking goodness. I'm always asking you about who is in your circle and being mindful of the kind of people that you keep around you. I'm hopeful that you think enough of yourself to live your best life and want the best things. That doesn't mean you have to be um, commercially minded. It doesn't mean that you have to um, be materialistic. But I'm not saying that there's any harm in liking material things, liking to live well, loving to live well, loving to have nice things. It just is about not living beyond your means, but it's also about focusing on attracting all these good things to you. We'll be focusing on even more of that this summer. And as I'm going into it's 8 o'clock now. Well, I have my clock set like about 5, 6 minutes fast, but I know it's going on 8. Um, but just a short, quick message to uh, to bring you some elevation and motivation before your day is done. So I say to you all, Beria, which means much love, Heri, which means be at peace. And for those of you who are seeing this before you go to bed, I say Resui Nechem, which means sweet dreams.